It's June 22nd, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have sailors lost to the unknown, a river so polluted it burned, and a simple food problem that created one of history's most iconic desserts. Let's begin. On June 22nd, 1675, a king looked towards the sea and saw a deadly problem hiding in the darkness. Ships were vanishing, not always from storms, not always from enemies. Sometimes, sailors simply lost track of where they were. They could find their latitude by watching the sun and stars, but longitude, their east and west position, was far more dangerous. One wrong calculation could send their ship miles off course into rocks, shallow water, or an open ocean with no sight of land. So King Charles II issued a royal warrant for something unusual, an observatory. High on the hill of Greenwich, England, a place was built, not for war, but survival. The first astronomer royal, John Flamsteed, was ordered to map the heavens with terrifying precision, charting the stars and the moon so sailors could find their way home. But the observatory became something bigger. It would later become longitude 0, the dividing line between east and west. From Greenwich came Greenwich Mean Time and the clock that helped organize the world. It all began with lost sailors and ended with a hill in England becoming a place where time itself was measured. On June 22nd, 1969, a river in Cleveland caught fire. The Cuyahoga River had been poisoned by oil, chemicals, factory waste, and floating debris. To many people, it no longer looked alive. It looked like a moving sewer, blackened by industry. Then, a spark came from a passing train. Beneath the railway bridge, oil-slick debris was trapped on the surface of the water. In seconds, the river itself began to burn. Flames rose from the river for about 30 minutes. The danger was so small, and the blaze was put out quickly that the reporters didn't even capture clear photos of it. But the image was impossible to forget. Our river had become so polluted that it could ignite, and this time America noticed. Soon came the first Earth Day and new environmental laws, and then the Clean Water Act, because this wasn't the first time that this river had burned, and slowly the dead river came back to life. Fish returned, and the water cleared. This story feels unbelievable, especially when you remember the river had burned before, and more than once. On June 22nd, 1847, a teenager from Maine changed breakfast forever with a hole. His name was Hanson Gregory. He was only 16 years old at the time, working aboard a lime trading ship, when he noticed something strange about the fried cakes that they served. They looked golden on the outside, but inside, they were heavy, greasy, and raw. Sailors called them sinkers. The name sounded almost like a warning, dense, lumpy dough that sat in their stomachs like stones. So Gregory looked at the problem and did something simple. According to his own later accounts, he grabbed a round lid of a tin pepper shaker and punched a hole straight through the center of the dough. He then fried it. This time, no raw middle. Wasn't heavy and it wasn't uncooked. Just a ring of dough cooked all the way through. Of course, the legend grew stranger with time. Some claimed he stabbed the pastry onto the ship's wheel during a storm. Others joked the old sinkers were so heavy that they could drag sailors to the bottom of the sea. The donut hole sounds like a tiny invention, but it solved a problem people had been biting into for years. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next Eerie dose is just a day away.